We're back. We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast.
No one's letting you forget in the club. That is for fucking sure.
Are you in lots and lots of pain? How bad is the pain?
Fuck you fucking asshat. Have fun dancing in the floor.
Number one, why am I calling you? Number two, you ruined everything.
Oh, so good. all in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.
do not be afraid to be extraordinary. And we were all just like, what? That was like a revelation to us then in 2010. Don't be afraid to be extraordinary. Oh my goodness. Okay. What does that look like? What does that mean? That was
We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast.
No one's letting you forget in the club. That is for fucking sure.
Are you in lots and lots of pain? How bad is the pain? Fuck you fucking asshat.
Having fun dancing in the floor.
Number one, why am I calling you? Number two, you ruined everything.
Oh, so good.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is probably one of the very few times you will get to hear my sticky voice on the pod. And yesterday, Christine was telling me how cute it was, so hopefully you find it just as endearing. And today we have a very special episode. We have a three-way.
Girl on girl on girl today.
Oh, yeah. With our great friend, Dania. And we are just so excited to have you here, India. You've been such a pillar of my transformation in my time in Vancouver. I remember finding you in your dance classes after a colossal breakup that I had in 2016. And it was through Strut Club that I was able to find myself again. Because that relationship, I was literally a shell of a human being after I came out of it. And it was through the community that you had and the movement that we would do and just your beautiful, open-hearted, gorgeous energy that I was able to really come back to myself and maintain that. Well, I mean, here we are, 2025. And like, I'm just so grateful for you and your medicine and the way that your medicine and your message has evolved and grown and everything about you. I'm just so obsessed with, and I couldn't be more excited to have you here today.
I'm so stoked. This is exactly the type of thing I like to do, is just jam and get real, and this is so special. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
India, Kelsey, do you remember when we did India's class together? I don't know if you remember this. This is a long time ago. And the reason I remember it is because my girls and I are obsessed with the song that she did in the class. It was Sexy Back. And it was like this like hardcore underground version.
That one is so hot.
And it still plays in my car today. And the girls in the back are like, we're bringing sexy back. She's like, VIP. Eva's like in the back. She's like, VIP, drinks on me. And I'm like, okay, this is awful for me to be doing. But like, she like still sings along. And every time I listen to that song, I think about your dance class and the chair and how you brought over the chair and we were doing like the leg up on the chair. And you and I were in the class. I don't even know if did we plan that or did we just, I'm just trying to think if we even like planned it together or if we just both showed up. It was like, would have obviously been before Club Unhinged days. But I think we like showed up together and we like did the class. We obviously knew each other, but we did the class. And I remember I hadn't danced up until that point. Like I'd never danced. And I remember doing an Instagram little video, India. And I remember saying like, just completely talking up your classes because I was like, I've never danced and you made it so accessible. You made it so much fun. You had the most fucking underground sexy songs. Your warm-up was not limp dick. Your warm-up was like on fire. I remember thinking, because some dance warm-ups are a little like, okay, and then we'll just move the next side to side. And you were like, we're doing like lunges and we're doing wide leg plies. And I think it was actually after I had Mia maybe, or I think it was like maybe right around that time. I feel like I was a bit postpartum. And anyways, I just loved your work. And I remember doing a little video and I was like, you guys, I feel like I haven't been a dancer. And she just like, this whole class just like lit me up. It was the medicine I needed. And it really brought me back into my body after giving birth. Like it was just something that was a challenge. It was an edge. And like having that sexy music and having it all was just so much medicine that day. Like it really did change the trajectory. And now I'm in dance classes. And it just really spawned that. It took a few years to get back into it, but I did that class and then it just like really opened up. So you've been a really big pillar of transformation for me, even though you might not totally know it. So
thanks for sharing that. I so appreciate hearing reflections of the experience and the way that the movement medicine ripples out, because it's not just that one class. I actually recently I shared a post recently because I had this aha moment where I was like, oh, I'm a spiritual teacher. Like, it was kind of a weird thing to land in, because it's not something that I've ever set out to claim. But I shared this post and it kind of ended in like, well, I'm a spiritual teacher. And the reason why is because anytime, well, at least the way that I teach, when you commune with your body, when you come into connection with your body, even if you're in heels and you're doming a chair and you're listening to Sexy Back, this like, you know, grunge version of Sexy Back, it's spiritual work, because you're opening up these channels in your body that are moving energy through you that perhaps has been dormant or gated or guarded or frozen. And then all of a sudden this life force that is your divine design starts to move through you and go, oh, hey, bitch, like, welcome back. And then that energy flows out of your heart and out of your voice and out of your womb and out of your fingertips, and it touches everything that you do, and then your life starts to open up. And so it's that one class, and then if you let it be, it really kind of is like a dam breaking. It can touch so many parts of your life, and it's that spiritual work. It's deep.
It's so deep. And like, I love the fact that we can embrace spiritual work and not have it be in this like very closed-minded box that it often gets put into. Like, that just never really works for me. And so to explore movement as a pathway of spiritual teaching, I think is so brilliant, because it brings in the mental, the emotional, the physical, like everything that's trapped in the body that we haven't had access to process. We can access those spots through movement, and you're just such a beautiful teacher in that.
Telling stories through your body, casting spells with your body, using the shapes and the movement as, you know, sigils, and being really connected, especially now the work that I'm doing is really connecting to the elements and the quality and texture of the elemental embodiment. Those pieces are all, that's what we're made of, right? The earth, water, fire, and air. And if we work with those elements and the vibrations and the stories and the power and all of the codes of the elements, then you're just coming back to your essence. You're coming back into relationship with the wisdom and integrity and beauty of the earth, which is we don't have any trouble relating to it when we go out into the forest or out into a meadow of wildflowers, or when we see a beautiful waterfall or a sunset. We're never we don't doubt it or question it. We're just like, you know, we allow there to be that awe. But then when it comes time to hold up the mirror for ourselves, you know, the mind comes in and has all of these, how dare you think so highly of yourself, you know? but I feel my fire. The salt and my tears, like all of these sensual experiences that come through in a dance class or a movement class, these elemental experiences, like they're just holding up that mirror to your elemental self. And like, yeah, it's pretty cosmic. I don't know. No big deal.
Cosmic. It's so cosmic. India, have you seen the OA?
Oh my god, I can't believe you just brought this up, because I'm watching White Lotus season 3, and the actor that's in the OA, the guy who like holds everyone captive, he's one of the main characters. And I was telling my partner, like, I think you would really love this, and then I was trying to explain it to him, and remembering how the day that I watched the finale of that first season, I wept because of just, I'm not gonna like give it away, I guess, but I just wept because of that concept of like how powerful movement can be, like dimension opening, time changing, stretching, quantum access.
I know. I
was like, I know this. This is what I'm trying.
Duh.
This is what I'm trying.
This is what I'm trying to do.
But then, you know, people would see, you know, Instagram is such a nuanced place to share the depth and, you know, the layered pieces often. And, you know, people would see the video with the heels and the bra top and go, oh, that's just like attention seeking, fluffy, whatever. Meanwhile, we're in there having life transformative experiences.
Yeah. Jumping dimensions, opening portals.
Yeah. Opening portals.
Oh, I would have fucking hated that before. I talk about the shadow self. So Kelsey and I love to like talk about ourselves on these shadow moments. But back in the day, I think it was like, it wasn't you, but it was oh my god, 2020, I want to say, I came across this girl on Instagram, and she was just like always in like a bra, you know, she was like very in her feminine, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like, fucking put some clothes on. Like, I was just like, I'm like, fuck, like, she irritated me so much, and I was like, why? And then I started diving into shadow work. I'm like, why does this bother me so much? And what I realized as well is like that part of me was so shut off and so shut down and so like, know that anytime somebody represented like even the slightest bit of, you know, again, a bra top or whatever it is, or like dancing especially really triggered me. Like people dancing around, I was like, do you have anything better to do? Like I was just like, like the fucking projections that went through my system. And then again, it's like the perfect alchemy around now, of course, who am I? I'm up on fucking stage as celebrities in lingerie,
yes,
shaking my ass on a 2-night dance show. So again, I just think it's like, and anyone listening as well, is like whenever we're really triggered by something, there's so much beauty, and it's like a part of ourselves oftentimes that we've really shut down, and it's like this person is just highlighting it. They're like being the flashlight saying, hey, the reason this is activating you so much is probably there's a lot of suppression, and this may be like the medicine or the key, right? Like it was me going and signing up for that dance class when I'd never been a dancer, quote unquote. So I went and signed up for that dance class, and it was the night of my second show of my dance class that I met my now boyfriend. So it was like that portal of dance, self-expression, confidence, like all those pieces of myself that I unlocked were the thing that made me very magnetic to draw in also my partner. So it's so funny how, like, you know what I mean? Like I think on Instagram there's a lot of projection, there's a lot of snap decisions, there's a lot of shadow, you know, just fucking projecting on each other. And I'm very happy to say that seeing a woman expressing herself, or anybody expressing themselves and being half naked or whatever they want to do, is something that I'm like, fuck yes, right? Like you fucking like, yes, being in your body, knowing your power. So I love these conversations about things that, you know, people like to project, or they trigger, or they go so surface level around like, who does she think she is, or what does she do, you know, whatever it is. Like I don't know, it's been so powerful for me to dive into that and look at why that bothered me so much.
That's amazing to be able to articulate that in that way, and to be able to see it now, like from your journey's perspective, because I've had a very humbling experience in my postpartum journey of starting to really understand why I was getting feedback from women, or those projections onto me before, of, oh, I'm not sexy enough. Oh, you're just doing this for attention. Oh, you know, all of those different things. Because I'm a year and a half postpartum now, somehow. So
wild.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like, I feel like I was just nursing my child on those calls that we were having. Anyway, I've been humbled in this journey because I have been disconnected from that erotic life force in me, and my body has been completely I would say taken over. That's not, I mean, not exactly the right description, but my body has been feeding and, you know, caring for and nurturing, and my body has been in service of my son, right? So that's just a constant, like, round the clock 24-hour thing. And what comes with that is exhaustion. What comes with that is like changes in my body. And what comes with that is not being able to connect to my body in the same way. What comes with that is not being able to, you know, have an intimate relationship with my partner in the same way, or as often as I would like. What comes with that is not having time, and this is a big one, to tend to my creative life. And when creative energy is not moving through me, like, I kind of go dead inside. But as a mom of a newborn, where I didn't have the time, personally, still am finding ways to really block out and carve out that creative time for myself, because I realize that it's part of my health. Part of my health is to keep my creative energy flowing, and when that energy is flowing, then my Eros comes back, and then the world is beautiful again, and then I can, you know, connect to that energy in me. But when I'm sitting at home in my sweats with, you know, food on my t-shirt, and I haven't brushed my teeth, and I haven't showered in a couple days, and, you know, I'm making lunch for my boy and I haven't eaten yet and I didn't sleep well, and like all of these little things that have piled up. I can see how women would see someone on the internet who's radiating, magnetic, moving in their their full lit charge, and go, fuck you. Like, get out of my face, because it feels, in that moment, it feels so far away and it feels so unattainable, and it feels like, will I ever, you want to rip your hair out and go like, will I ever fucking get back there again? Will I ever be radiant again? Will I ever relate to myself in that way again? Or am I just mom now? Am I just mom forever? Like, yes. So it's just been, like, I can see now where some of that shadow starts to swirl, and where that it's almost like, that the loathing of the maiden comes in once you become a mother. It's like that jealousy piece. I can see where that comes in when you don't know what forces are acting upon you and how to get yourself back. Like, I'm so grateful for my tools. Oh man.
Oh, I think it's a big I love everything you said. I think there's a big, I mean, Kelsey knows this, I'm a very unconventional mother, and I think that what's beautiful is there's like I think we need more powerful moms and women in general, just who are like, I'm gonna redefine what motherhood is and isn't, and it's my path and it's my choice and it's what is good for me. Like, I know the amount of times, like, I've been like, at the play whatever ground, and it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm heading to, like, Tulum next week, or I'm going to here, and they're like, oh cool, is it a nice family trip? I'm like, no. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm going by myself. What? I'm like, I'm gonna go, drink margaritas and like see my friend and whatever. And it's like the head is going to explode off, and you can see the, like, who do you think you are to do? You can't do that. And I'm like, you sure shit I can. Because like, for me, like, or me going and, doing a speaking gig or doing different things, like, my girls are, even though it means I might not have as much time, like, with them, it's like making the time that I am with them. There's a lot of this, like, I'm with my kids all the time, but maybe it isn't even quality time, right? Maybe it actually isn't it's, for me, it's like the quality versus quantity. It's not like I neglect my kids and don't see them. I see them lots. It's just that, like, them watching me go off and be lit up by doing what I love and creating something in the world is so high value, right? And I think sometimes we see mothers in kind of some martyrdom, and in this, again, I get it. I've been in that place of, like, martyrdom myself, so I know how fucking hellhole-ish it can feel to be like, and feel victimized and feel tired and feel fucking overwhelmed and like I just want to smash something, like. But I think just getting honest and real with it and being like, I can have that feeling where I'm just, sometimes it's really fucking hard to be a mom, and then giving myself the permission to lead a life that is unconventional to a lot of very traditional ways of the mother, and I think a lot of expectations put on moms and how to be and how to do things and how to whatever, and I just, I'm like, no, I can't subscribe to that, because I would be miserable, and I would do that. You see a lot of, and then you see some moms who are like, well, if it wasn't for my kids, all their activities and this, then I could be XYZ, and I'm like, do you think you want to put that on your kid? Like, is that your kid's problem that you're putting them in 8,000 activities because of your unfulfilled dreams? Like, how about you go fulfill your dreams? Have a schedule that works for you, and be fucking happy, and show your kids happiness. And it's not about what you say, it's your energy. If your nervous system's more regulated because you're taking care of yourself and doing things that you love, that's going to affect your kids. Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's a question I've been asking myself a lot. What do I need to be a good mom? What do I need? Like, sit with that question. What do I need? And be honest with yourself, India. What do I need to be a good mom? And the things that have come up are not what I had intellectually thought they would be. It's a lot of like what you're saying, Christine. It's taking personal time and space and letting yourself be lit up in different ways. And I'm not currently at the stage of motherhood where I can leave. Sure. because I'm still breastfeeding, but yeah, and that question can apply to other aspects of life too. What do I need to be a good partner? What do I need to be a good CEO or whatever it is? What do I need to be able to show up in my full spectrum radiance, really? Because yeah, the world is, this is something I've been, thinking of a lot. The world is fucking crazy out there. It's nonsense.
Insane.
It's absolutely nonsense.
Dumpster fire.
And if you get, it's a dumpster fire times a million. And if you get, swept up in it, then it's going to steal all your joy. And the world can be burning down around you, or feel like it is, and you still have a right to your joy. So like you're saying, the martyr piece, like, it's not serving you, it's not serving anybody for you to stay in the vein of like pain and suffering. Like, feel your grief, feel your feelings around everything, of course, move with it, witness it, acknowledge, but also like move toward your joy. It doesn't make you a bad person to access your joy when there is suffering in the world. Like, there's just always going to be suffering. You have to go get your life.
Yeah. Well, Kelsey and I see this a ton in the club. I mean, we I would say specialize in helping women reinvent themselves, specifically like the icons, the change makers, the legacy breakers, these cycle breakers, the ones who are like, fuck this shit, I can't, I unsubscribe essentially from the traditional way of
convention.
doing things. I unsubscribe from convention. And you know, we see this a lot, and I think that there is this big, it's like a permission slip that I think that women are looking for, and it's like, can you become your own permission slip, that it just works for you because it works for you because it works for you. And that I think where there's a lot of unraveling and deconstructing, a lot of very deep programming around what it looks like, sounds like to be a good quote unquote, wife, business owner. Like, we've even bumped up against this. The amount of times I bumped up against the like, okay, what does a proper business owner do and say and branding look like, and the
how do we do a launch the right way?
Oh my god, the amount it is like literally the universe just dries up every fucking bit of light to be like, I'm gonna make this so obvious that this is not the way you're meant to do this, that I'm gonna make it fucking so painful for you to finally be like, bitch, you are not meant to do it this way. You are an innovator, you're a visionary, so stop trying to conform. But there's such a deep, I mean, look at even the nervous system, like it's wired for belonging and connection. And when we are different or outside of the quote unquote the norm or the pack, there is a, very ancient part of us who's like, that's a threat to do it that way. And so there is this kind of, again, just like, just the tip, let's just try to see if that works. Oh, okay, no, it doesn't work again. So Kelsey and I have really been redefining our business recently as to be like, okay, well, what is our it factor? What is the thing that we do really, really well? And can we just talk about that more and stop trying to make everything so fucking perfect behind the scenes and whatever, and just be authentic and speak from heart and connect with people and build a business, a boutique business that's based on intimacy and connection with other amazing people, versus trying to go for this more robotic, big picture, helping serve everyone, which again, it's like so funny to see how these good girl or people pleasing patterns just manifest into all sorts of, this is why doing this work is so important, because otherwise your business and your life and the way you parent or the way that you do things is just one big replica of what's been shown to us, versus saying, I don't need that to die, but I am going to really just spend my time and energy like redefining what a life looks like that makes you really fucking happy. Because as the book, whatever, the 7 regrets of the dying or whatever says, it's like the number one regret is like living a life that, is basically for other people and not yourself. So like, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't fucking subscribing to that. We ain't doing that.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Nope.
Not into it.
And you highlighted when you said, you used the word good in a different way that I used the word good. And I understand what you meant. I understand what you meant when you said it, like breaking out of that good girl sort of, what does it mean to be good as a woman? And I said, my question is, what do I need to be a good mom? And I mean that in the sense, I just feel the need to clarify, like, what do I need to be the mom that I know I am and want to be, that the highest version of me in motherhood, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. But just, it made me think like, the word good is maybe not the right.
Well, no, it gets you thinking.
Right
even
frequency.
as you said that, that's interesting. Because even as you said that, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that when you said it, because I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
even exploring that, being like, okay, a good mom, and then like coming even into contact with like a richer form of that statement around like, what do I need to be like a thriving, lit up, like juicy mom who's like, or whatever. I know, I'm just fucking around, but like, you know what I mean?
But that's what I meant when I said good. But good's not the right word, so I need to rephrase that question for myself. Yes. So thank you.
I need to be a fucking spicy hot tamale mama. Living her
that's just
craft,
it.
doing my shit.
Yeah.
You know, like even asking that question, like, how do I become the most expanded, extraordinary version of myself in this chapter of my life? And giving ourselves permission to ebb and flow with the changes of life that come. Because like my most extraordinary self, when I blew out my knee and couldn't walk, is very different than, 3 years later when I'm back in dance class and I'm moving and I've built this business with Christine and like back in exploring relationship, and like it's just a very different version of extraordinary. And I think we can hold ourselves to these unreal expectations of like sameness, which is like that linear, more masculine kind of understanding of transformation or growth. And as women, like I personally just never really resonated with that. I'm like, my life is like all over the place. It's ever changing, and I'm ever changing. I'm literally like the 4 seasons, like not only every month, but sometimes every day. And I'm like, so I need to be able to orient through that in a way that doesn't disempower me. But if I have this frame of like, I need to be the same, I need to be consistent, and it doesn't allow for that variability, like I'm immediately going to be sucking all of that radiant energy out. Yeah. But when I can relate to myself as though like, oh no, you can change. Like your version of extraordinary might be different from this morning to right now. Or maybe it'll be different in a month, or maybe in a year. And depending what happens in your life, the things that happen and change, well, we just adjust. And like, what is that most extraordinary version in this moment? And allow for that changeability and that variability. And it feels so much more free in my system to relate that way. And the more like we do this work, I'm like, God, we are really like unhinging ourselves from like the mainstream narratives and the mainstream paradigms and like all the things that most people do. I'm like so not interested in doing those things anymore.
That's so powerful, and you're really speaking into what is kind of the heart of, somatic ecology in a sense. Like you're saying something that I can absolutely run a parallel teaching that the earth gives us, in every season, in every moment. Like I was saying at the beginning of the call, like it's extraordinary out there. And it means different things. Every time you walk a trail, it's a different trail, and it's no less extraordinary in the winter than it is in the summer. It's just different, and there's different phases and different cycles and different kinds of generosities that the earth is offering. And everything comes back to like, yeah, I guess I learned that from the earth to begin with. This is a teaching that, that I learned from the earth, and the WYLD method was something that came about from living on Kauai for a summer. And that's when I realized like, oh, yoga's not about, and this was in the era of fancy yoga poses on Instagram. That was what everybody was posting,
yes.
And we're familiar with that, and the boom of the Wanderlust Festival and all of that. And it was a beautiful time. We were awakening. we were chanting. We were wearing our mala beads. Like it was a beautiful time. Uh-huh. And also, I went to Kauai that summer, and I was like, oh my God, yoga. The union that the texts are talking about, it's union with this frequency of mother and land, and like returning and remembering our essence and remembering all the things that we already know, because we are already connected to these seasons, and just like goes on and on and on. And just being shown, like I've learned more from plants than I have from human teachers. I've learned more about myself from the ocean, I think, than I have from human teachers. I've learned more from the hikes that I've done, and those sort of vision quests than I have from any human teacher or book. And I had a teacher once in university at SFU when I was doing my dance BFA. Her name was Megan Walker Strait. And she said, and this is like one of the few things throughout that whole degree that stuck with me. She said, "Do not be afraid to be extraordinary." And we were all just like, what? That was like a revelation to us then in 2010. Don't be afraid to be extraordinary. Oh my goodness. Okay. What does that look like? What does that mean? And that was the first time I really considered, okay, what would that look like if I was not afraid to be extraordinary? Holy shit. And it's a little bit, intimidating at first when you start to consider what that would actually mean, what it would look like.
But I just love that you're considering it. And I also just love that you're raising a little boy who gets to, witness a woman and a mother in this more unconventional expression. And we have plenty of children who have been raised by very conventional paradigms. And to have a young boy who gets to witness his mother in this exploration, I think is just so beautiful. And I'll be so curious to see how that shapes him.
Yeah.
And like who
like it would be so great if it wasn't unconventional though. Like
right.
If high nurture and deep earth connection and a mother who is embodied and in her power, if that wasn't unconventional, that would be that's I'm happy to get behind that as a movement.
Yeah. Same. I feel like there's got to be like a parallel universe us who have cracked the code on that, and like these moments where we do like the OA movements or like dance movements and we remember and we're like getting a glimpse of like parallel universe us who already knows the code and who's already living
Yeah, sometimes I can feel her right here and she's
right.
literally knocking on the glass being like, girl, come on. You have the key. Just turn it, turn it in the lock.
Somebody said something once that really hit me, and they said, like, what if how sometimes you get those snaps and you get those visions and you get those like tap-ins and you're like, oh my God, and it feels like that's the dream. And they said, like, what if it's the reverse? What if that's reality and this is the dream?
Whoa.
And I remember just thinking, like, wait, what? Like, I sat with that, I'm like, like, what if this is the dream and that's the reality? And the idea is to, like, Windex more and more so that the dream, like, so that we're not in the dream is, like, this is the dream state and that is the reality. And the more we can connect with that and tap into that and look at, like, well, what just had me access that state? What just had me be able to see in that world? And can I do more of that? Right? Like, that's the thing. It's like seeing, like, how did I just get into that state where I just saw that? What was I doing? What was I, like, for me, it's a lot when I'm in water, like, especially in the ocean. I'm in the elements. I'm in the tree. I'm in the forest. I'm, like, looking at trees. I'll, like, put my hand on a tree and I'm, like, looking up and I'm just, like, it's, like, there's you know what I mean? Like, there's so much wisdom. There's so much power in that. And starting to, create more of these, when I was working with a mentor before, she was like, what's your why? Or like, what's your, what's the thing you want? And I was like, I gave her some answer. I was like so proud of it. I was like, oh my God, it's so emotional. It just came through. And she was like, no, that's not it. I go deeper. And I was like, I remember I was like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm fucking paying you. I was like, damn, fuck you for telling me that my why's not deep enough. And then I'm sitting in a workout class one time and I don't even know, I'm fucking doing like hip bridges or something. And I look up and I heard this like voice and it's like, you're here to like master the art of being human and design heaven on earth and then teach others to do the same. And I was like, oh my God, design heaven on earth. And like heaven on earth could be out in the middle of nature and like not talking to anyone, or heaven on earth could be living in a fucking penthouse in New York City with like, a million things. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone has their own version of that heaven on earth and all can exist. It's just more of like actually coming into contact of like what, and heaven on earth to me is like a feeling. It's an energetic state that we get into versus like an actual sort of necessarily reality around us, but designing that. And I think that comes through coming back into contact with those micro moments of like deep truth where we feel the resonance. Because I know when I hit those moments, those pockets where you feel you're like, you get the vision or you get the thing, and there's such a fucking inner peace and resonance. You know what I mean? Like you just feel it and you're like, oh my God, this is like silence. It's just like perfection. More of those.
That's the thing though, is that like, this is how powerful we are as humans, right? We have the power to channel the spirit of the earth. When we go into nature, we receive her intelligence, like you're saying. We get those downloads. We have that power. We have the power to move between dimensions. So like, I keep finding things in my journals that are messages from my future. Well, hold on. How would it be now? My future self came through and I wrote something out for me to find now. So it's a message from my future past self, but it's that we have this ability to navigate dimensions, right? So when she feels like she's right here behind, on the other side of the glass, like we're able to slip between the realms, the planes of existence. And guess what? You don't get to do any of this if you're not in your body.
Yes.
So it's like this idea that, ascension, enlightenment, like reaching the outer layers of your, higher consciousness, et cetera. Yeah. But like you can only do that if you're anchored and grounded in your body. And, that's the piece that sometimes I feel like I'm just a little bit too like rough about in my messaging. Cause I'm like,
I love it though.
That's where it all starts. And you don't get any of the other stuff. You don't get to activate any of your other human powers unless you drop into your earth suit first. And let me teach you how. And it's like often not sexy at all. And it's very practical and very messy and very uncomfortable. And are you here for the work or aren't you? Like, do you just want to be a driverless car or don't you? So that's where my Virgo comes in, and I'm just like, just do it. Do it or don't do it.
Yeah. It's so true though. Like, and what a perfect way to keep people from their power by feeding them this spiritual concept that like the process is ascension, which is essentially just a dissociation. Like, so feed them this golden idea of like the whole point of your spiritual journey is to dissociate from your human. And yet the goal, transcend it, right? Yeah. Versus actually like you're here to have a relationship with it. Like you're not getting rid of your human this lifetime until you're dead. So why not like be in relationship with it? And in order to do that, we have to descend into the body, descend into the emotions, descend into the mind. Like all of it like requires us to like take all that floating energy and like come back down and in. And I mean, I'm obviously so obsessed with the WYLD method, and like I think of it like growing these roots, like these very stable, strong roots of the tree, so that the canopy can expand and it can be beautiful and it can protect us and nourish us in all the ways. But if those roots are rotten, or if they just never got a chance to like really dig in deep, like that tree is going to get uprooted.
Yeah, it's going to blow over.
And it'll be fucking wood for the fire. It's not going to have its own vital life force. And that's what a lot of people in my, like when I kind of walk through the world and I feel like I'm in the twilight zone the majority of the time. And I'm like, all these people are so uprooted. Like they're just flailing in the wind. Yeah. And like if they do have a spiritual practice, guaranteed 90% of them or more, it's this ascension. Like get out of your body. Like, the body is bad. The body is wrong. Like how many fucking spiritual and religious teachings have that as the baseline of like the body is evil and bad and wrong. So like even that gets us in this weird relationship with it. And so I love movement pathways that allow us to repair some of that conditioning that has maybe led us a little astray, but then we come back. And when we come back, like, it's such a beautiful homecoming. Like, oh, wait, like this was the sacred temple all along. Like,
and how, for me at least, it feels impossible to care so deeply. Well, first of all, let me just say, you use the word deep. The WYLD, WYLD, is an acronym for when you live deeply. So that's the foundational question is, what does it mean to you to live a deep life? So that's on the table. But, now the train of thought is gone.
I love when that happens. You're like, fucking
trees,
it's
uprooting, dissension, ascension.
The WYLD method, about how the WYLD method is about going deep and how...
So many thoughts coming through. No, it'll come back or it
It'll
won't.
come
It's
back.
fine.
Well, there it
Yeah,
is.
I can't care so deeply for my waterways, for my lymphatic system, for my blood, for my hydration, for my emotional life. I can't care for my waterways and then disrespect the waters of our planet.
Right. Yes.
And so that those two things, they go together for me. Like it feels impossible to, if I'm disrespecting myself, then my relationship to the earth is also distorted and fragmented. And that's kind of like the crisis that I would say that we are in
Sure.
on earth right now, is that disembodiment is leading to you know, to the complete destruction of our home and our mother, who has never done anything but provide everything that we need.
Yeah.
Always.
I feel you so much on that. Like when radical self-love first came through, like it didn't come through like radical in the sense of extreme, but radical in the sense of the roots
Right.
of love. And like the roots of love need to be anchored in you first. And my whole thought process with it was like there's no way to get people to care about the planet or about each other if they don't care about themselves. If they fundamentally hate themselves and their hearts are closed and broken, like it's so much easier to look someone in the face and say the most vile things to them, or do the most vile things to them, or like rape and pillage the earth. Like it's so easy to do that when we're in disconnection with ourselves. And so the whole mission was like rebooting millions of hearts so that there is this evolution and upgrade that happens with each other, but also with the earth. Like it was like this environmentalism aspect to it, but like I knew that if I went into environmentalism, like there was never going to be the transformation that I wanted there to be. I'm like, I have to get to the root. Like people don't care. You see it in politics all the time. You know, people are like yelling at people to care about these things, and they just don't. And not because I think fundamentally they're horrible people, but because their hearts are so blocked, and like there's all of this material that hasn't been digested yet. And so when we digest it through movement, when we digest it through emotional alchemy, all of a sudden we have more access to ourselves, more access to the full range of our heart. We can see more clearly, and we move differently. We take different actions. Like when my heart is open, like I behave very differently in my relationships. I behave very differently with the earth. I behave very differently in my life versus when my heart is closed. And so like that became like the bigger underlying mission as to why like I was going to be teaching on relationships and self-love. It wasn't like, oh, I just want everybody to have like bubble baths and pedicures. That was not the vibe.
Yeah.
It was so much bigger than that.
And it's continuous too. It's not like you just open your heart one time and then you're good to go.
Right.
But either. That's the thing. It's an ongoing relationship and practice and allyship with yourself, and it's just got to be your number one relationship.
I think this is why so many whatever you want to call them, light workers, people are being called through our own initiations right now, especially conscious leaders, conscious entrepreneurs, because there's the pendulum always swings on earth. There's always going to be the unconscious that helps the conscious. Like there's just that polarity and duality I think is so important. And I think there's just a lot of people being called up to bat right now and get it and work through our own stuff, our own shadows, our own alchemy, to be able to essentially be the light, to be the permission slips to have other people wake up, who are here to lead and to go first. And it is hard. Like this is sort of the woman that Kelsey and I call into the club is this type of cycle breaker, and who wants to design their own heaven on earth so that they are the living, breathing embodiment of what a rich life looks like in all areas. And so, because I think we do need more, there's new templates being born right now, right? Yeah. A lot of that very old, archaic, this is how you do it and don't ask questions, basically is crumbling right now. And I think, I think what's been really instrumental is, I'm trying to think where I heard it, but it was along the lines, I think Wayne Dyer said it as well. It's around like old paradigms don't have to die for new ones to be born. And I see a lot of like amazing conscious leaders being taken out by what they don't want. So they're seeing a lot of like stuff where it's like they're getting hyper focused on like, I don't want that, that has to go, I need to fight that, versus saying like, well, rather than expelling my energy and like leaking it over there, what do I want to design and build, and let me put all my creative life force energy into like being the embodied, versus telling somebody. People don't react well to being told what to do, or trying to like have beliefs indoctrinated on them. So it's more around like, here's who I am and here's what I stand for, here's what I'm building, and let's go. Like, I think that's why you're obviously building a movement. Why Kelsey and I are building a movement, because rather than, again, spilling all our energy out, we're just saying that can exist because I'm more powerful than that, but this is what I'm designing and building, and who's coming with me. Let's walk shoulder to shoulder. Let's fucking go. Let's create these new ideals, these new ways of being, so that rather than, again, telling people, we're just being it, and then people are attracted to it and wanting to move forward. So I'm seeing a lot of that right now.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. And it's uncomfortable when you receive your directives, you know, when like you're saying that day in the class with you're doing, you know, glute bridges, and all of a sudden they hit you, you know, you get it. And I was sitting recently in a tea ceremony, and I received my directive really clearly, and I was like, oh, really? Like, really? Is that really what this is? Like, yes, that's what this is. And it feels terrifying. You know, and I'll say it right now, even though it makes me like still kind of...
Tell us the cringe. Come on.
Yes.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Tell
Well,
us.
Give us the cringe. Or cringe is supposed to.
Well, it kind of, when you say you're building heaven on earth and calling in those people who are also building heaven on earth, it made me think, okay, well, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? I think that's a very good question for everyone to define for themselves. What does heaven on earth actually mean for you? What does that mean for you? And the more that we can really crystallize that vision, I think we'll kind of like magnetize like visions together, and it will come to be. Heaven on earth for me feels very, well, it feels like my brand. It feels like a deep and unwavering connection and return and remembering of our inherent belonging as beings of this earth, and to recuperate and reactivate all of the, the ancient medicines, the wisdoms, the herbalism, the movement, like I was saying before, the traveling between realms, all of those, channeling in that way, and recovering those medicines, and living in really close to the land, living in a sovereign, self-sustained way, where we're not, if the place that we live doesn't have avocados that grow there, maybe we don't eat them. I don't know. Like, there's just as an example, but being able to have, community and be in close connection to the earth in this really lush, abundant, overflowing way. And so my directive was that the WYLD method is here to be a force that neutralizes the transhumanist agenda that is sort of coming through right now with this deep lean into technology, and like merging, and the force of AI and everything, like you're saying, Kels, that's like pulling us away from our bodies and out of our bodies and away from our wisdom. And WYLD is here to be like, no. Like, the way I see it, we're going to end up with at least 2 different species of human beings, if like that's not already a reality, that's not already something that's occurred. But yeah, WYLD is here to, like you're saying, Christine, not fight it, not fight what's happening, because like Elon Musk is here to stay, okay, with his robot gods, but to gather everyone whose priority is to stay flesh and blood, human, beating heart, wide open, and connected with those roots, that imagery that you were giving before, Kelsey. So that's the directive, and it feels like a lot, and I'm like kind of like jittery just speaking it that way, but it's like I saw both of your faces just now when I said it, and so I know that you are my people. I know that it lands with you. I know that it makes sense with you, and I know that we're out there. So that's my heaven on earth, is to be human, to stay human.
Ooh, that's a fucking tagline right there.
Yes, it is.
Like,
stay
Yes.
human.
like the wild
Be
method.
human,
Stay human.
Like on a hoodie.
Well,
Yes.
that's what I mean, though. But that is,
Yeah.
but that I
Yes.
just saw
Yeah.
that as like a tagline. Like that is because
Yes.
that
Thank you.
explains everything about the wild method. You don't even have to say no more, right? Stay human is that's a movement. That's a tagline because again, there are going to be people who. Yeah, exactly. Like love AI, are into that, and what I'm seeing is like almost like a visual of you being like, okay, I'm clocking this, I'm watching this, I'm monitoring this, I'm seeing this. I don't like that, but rather than getting like dipping in and trying to fight it, because like you said, it's like that's fucking insanity. You're just saying, I'm going to use that as very important information for me to distill and clarify my brand, my mission. Like, thank you so much for helping me, because we only get clarity through friction, right? Like I find, clarity comes a lot of times through friction, through experiencing what we don't want, noticing what we don't want, and that helps us just like rocket fuel off to like what we do want, right? And I love that. I mean, stay human is like the fucking hashtag stay human.
Thank you for validating
That's just the whole movement.
I have it written down. And
Yeah.
I'm like, are we ready? Are we ready for this?
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
time? Okay, we're ready.
Yeah, but like
We're
everything
ready.
you do, right? Like everything you do when you have that energetic of like stay human behind is like the heartbeat of it all. It's like everything you do or create or offer to the world has just that element. You can it doesn't really matter what you're teaching, whether it's movement or whether it's coaching or whether it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
Circles, ceremonies, the underlying sort of frequency is stay human, and that means being connected to the earth, being connected to water, land, all these pieces, and that can like ripple out. Like that's got such a big playground for you to like for people to play in, right? So many different offers. It feels really big.
It is, it feels exciting, and that's why Strut Club, to circle it all the way back, and that's why Strut Club, Strut Club was such a beautiful sort of foundational business and community, and I had to tie her up in a bow before I gave birth, because it was so painful for me, because it was this thing that I loved so much, but I had to wrap her up because I knew in my bones that like it was fun and it was powerful, and I'm going to take all of that and fold it into this new era of, because I had no idea who I was going to be on the other side of giving birth and motherhood and all that, and WYLD is just like coming through real hot, and it feels like a big endeavor and it feels like a big task, but I know I'm not alone on the mission. So yeah, Strut Club has sort of melted into WYLD in a new way, and that was a hard goodbye for me to let go of that, but ultimately it just felt that we were ready to do more than dance in heels to Beyonce, because you can get that just about anywhere now.
Sure.
It can like live. It can like exist within the ecosystem if you if you so choose. It's like, I think, I don't know. Just as you were talking about like letting that go, I just kind of like got this like just download around like that. That was like, you're essentially saying thank you, like so much appreciation and gratitude for the stepping stone that was Strut Club, to give you the platform, to give you the visibility, to give you the credibility, to have the people, you know what I mean, like see you and give you that like beautiful stepping stone into something that is just a much larger, much more expansive. You can feel the frequency in between the name Strut Club and the WYLD method.
It's just deeper. Yeah, it's just more expansive, and I'm really looking forward to bringing more dance classes back into WYLD as well, and moving, like I was saying, with those body spells and all of that work, because it's just like so who I am, and I'm just getting back there slowly.
Well, if you ever need guest facilitators in your WYLD method, Kelsey and I we are hashtag stay human all the way. So we are.
Like, literally, we talk all the time. Like, I swear to God, like this is my tag of like full range human. Like I talk about it all the time. Like that's literally what my body of work does, is it opens people up to the full range of their human, so that they can be in approval with the full range of their human experience, instead of having to fight these parts of themselves or hide or like cut them off and kill them off. Like what if it just all belonged? And like, what if it was all sacred and all holy, and we just have to learn how to move and dance and like be with it. Yeah. And so like, it doesn't surprise me that, you know, I mean, I've known you for like what, 8 years now, and there's been many like death and rebirths that we've both gone through since that time.
Indeed.
You know, but we're like traveling like parallel paths. Yeah. And like, even though we're going through like these big changes, like when I had to retire my old brand, I can relate to, you know, how you were feeling with Strut Club. Like it was a death. Like, yeah, I had to like have a funeral for this project, for this part of my business that got me to the point where then I could birth Creatrix, and then that had to shift and reconfigure. So now Club Unhinged can exist. And so like, I just love how women do this all the time. We're like, okay, we're gonna like create and conjure up, and then we're gonna do this thing until it's not the thing anymore, and then we're gonna go in and like let it have its fall and winter season, and then it'll come out the other side in the spring and summer, and like we'll see what comes through in like this new iteration. And like finding more women like that is just always such a delicious place to land, and I'm really excited for your new offer. So for anyone who doesn't know what your new offer is, can you tell them? Because I'm obsessed I can't wait.
Yes. Yeah, it's called WYLD Season, and it's a 22-day spring challenge. Essentially, it is a challenge. It's me saying, show up with me every day for 22 days, and your mind is going to tell you 1,000 different excuses why you're not going to do the practice that day. But the whole idea is to make new moves. Every day I'm going to bring you a new practice, a new embodiment practice. They're short, 5 to 20 minutes. And there's like a daily theme, and we're working with the codes and the frequencies of spring. So, I mean, you know what spring feels like. So we're working with that arc. And yeah, every day you get a new practice and a little teaching, a little lesson, like home integration on the theme. And it's an invitation to show up and make new moves. And when we start to move our body and our breath in new ways, we start to get fresh perspectives, and we, you know, get rid of some of that emotional and energetic density. It's like tending a garden, you know, weeding. You have to weed before you can plant and seed and fertilize and all of those things. And so it's relating to ourselves as this essentially like an erotic garden, and getting some dirt under our fingernails to clarify and get light and like get romantic with our lives a little bit, and bring back some of that eros in the Shakti creative life force sense, you know, connecting and amplifying our mana.
So and basically we're bringing sexy back is what we're doing.
Well, yeah.
To circle it all the way back to the start.
We have to link that song in the show notes. We have to link the song in the show notes. It is so fire. I remember you played it, and I was like,
it's so good.
It's hot.
It's a classic on my playlist. It still goes on the rotation. Yeah. Yeah, we're bringing sexy back. Spring knows what's up. Like, she's so, again, generous with her blooms, her fragrance, her show in spring. And that is a mirror for us to go, oh, that's my divine design. That's my original templating. So I get to do that too. And it's my birthright. So like, let's go. I'm into it. Like, let's bloom, let's grow, let's go. Let's use this springtime to really lay a foundation of, clarity and life force and charge your aura for the rest of the year. You know, we've been wintering. We're over it. We're done with the winter. Yeah, things have been like stirring, simmering, cooking, cocooning, and now it's time to like move that energy. So I'm really excited. Yeah, 22 days every day.
And it starts on March 19th.
March 19th to April 9th. We got a new moon in there, so we're going to do a live new moon ceremony as well, just to really get in the energy of the fertile earth, you know. And it will range, the practices will range from being like a full body, you know, dance. There's going to be strength and functional movement in there too, because we're definitely, you know, training for our total body health. So dance and functional movement and all that good stuff, but also we're working with, you know, the vision space as much as the heart space and the voice, and just making our way through our energy centers and different practices to tend to your whole ecosystem, because like I said before, it's all spiritual work. Tending the garden, you know.
I mean, it's not lost on me that Christine and I completely rebranded one of our offers. It's called the Shed Sessions now, and we have our first one on the 19th as well.
Oh my gosh.
So like,
Yes.
I get to do both of those things on the 19th, and I'm in Nashville, like, as if, like, how does it get any better than this? Like, come on.
Yeah, something of service, and then something to pour back into you. And you know, spring is the energetic new year, and the astrological new year. It's like it's time. It's time to celebrate. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll link everything, obviously, the link to sign up if anyone's interested.
Amazing.
In the show notes and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Great.
a no-brainer. It's what, $111?
Yes.
Yes.
It's priced for access.
Yeah.
Let's just dive in. Like,
Just let's do it. Let's go.
Just go. Let's go. It's $5.50 a day. Let's go. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's less than my oat misto.
Yeah.
Like my Americano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
if we, you know, I think.
And it's like very much that energy of like, you know, if he wanted to, he would. If you want to, like, if this is
You
of
will.
importance to you, you will show up. And then it starts to feel like relief instead of something that feels challenging with all that resistance and stickiness. All of a sudden it's like a haven to show up for yourself. It feels like relief. Like you said, homecoming earlier in the chat. Home, it feels like, oh, I get to sink into myself. Thank God. Thank goodness for this.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yay. India, you are just such a breath of fresh air, and I'm so obsessed with you, and I'm thrilled to be back in your vortex. And if there was like one piece of advice or insight or magic that you wanted to leave with our audience today, what would you want to share with them?
You're designed to feel really fucking good. We are being tricked we're being tricked into outsourcing our health and our happiness and our wellness, and we contain the inherent intelligence to feel really good. And so my invitation is like, go looking for that. Define what that feels like and looks like for you to feel your best. What do you need? And like, source it from within, you know. It's most of it's free. You know, the things that we really need to feel our best, a lot of it's free. And the whole like biohack scene is getting a little bit out of hand out there. And just know that like from the dawn of time, our human intelligence is to flow and to feel really, really good. And so let's get back there. Let's get back there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Let's go.
And the PS is to stay human.
Yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Also, just stay human.
Just stay human. Just stay human.
Just do it.
Oh my gosh.
Just be a
I
human.
love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thanks,
And
babes.
like Christine said, we will pop everything in the show notes so people can find you, but also sign up for the offer if they would like to come in.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, if you'd like to do a double header on the 19th and do India's WYLD session with our Shed session, they are going to be a beautiful complement. I don't even know what we're going to do in India's first session, but I know that it will be magical and it'll be such a complement to what we're doing in the Shed, because we are working with visibility blocks and we are going to be shedding those visibility blocks in that first session. And so we'll put that in the show notes as well. And if
Our
you like...
theme is the thaw. That's the first session. The thaw.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like fucking immaculate. You come in, you shed the visibility block, then you show up with your new visibility into that with your body. Like, how fucking immaculate would that be?
Alignment. Yeah.
Alignment. So much alignment. So obviously go do the double header. This is This is just the universe talking to you through me right now. And if you liked today's episode, please go like it, share, give us a review, but only a 5-star one, because that's all we like and we want. And we love you, and we'll be back next week with something sassy and magical, and who knows what the fuck we'll do.
Off the rails, I'm sure.
Off the rails. Love you, friends. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, India, so much for being here.
Bye.
We love you too.
Big aloha. Talk soon.
All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.